Well, we're back again, and we have another very interesting guest this morning, and his name is Robert Spickard, and he has some very interesting things to talk about. Hi, Robert.
How do you do?
So glad you came in.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I know you have a subject that's dear to my heart. You do?
I make jewelry.
Yeah.
My wife and I own the Dragon's Treasure. It's the jewelry and gift shop at the corner of Olive and Wishon.
Wow.
We've been in that location for 30 years, and we're heading into our 40th year in the Tower District.
Wow.
I make craft jewelry. It's handmade sterling and bronze for the most part. I learned in high school under a very fine art teacher, Mr. Charles Lum, at Bullard High.
Oh.
He started many Fresno artists off, and he got me started making jewelry when I was about 15.
Oh, my.
I put myself through college making jewelry and mowing lawns. And then shortly after my wife and I got married, we opened our first jewelry store upstairs in the Artifactorage almost 40 years ago.
Wow.
Then we were in Van Ness Village for 8 years, and now we're over across from the Tower Theater. And so it's been there for 30 years. We have all sorts of different things in there that I make. I make original designs. I also restore antique jewelry and make molds of that.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And so I use all natural stones, and the ones that we use have stones in. So it's been very interesting being in the Fresno art scene for this long. We also do shows. We have a very strong online presence in Etsy, and do some wholesaling for some small shops in Southern California and around. So I make all sorts of different things.
And I think you brought some pictures of them today?
There are some pictures from our Etsy site.
And you can just tell me
That's a little
bit about it.
Day of the Dead skull, little sugar skull that I make in sterling silver.
Oh, beautiful.
That one's an original design. This is Octopus Love. This is for sort of a little heart with a little smiling octopus mainly for the steampunk crowd.
That's cute, beautiful though. Beautiful.
And this is an antique. This is from a Japanese sword fitting called a manuki, and it's bees on a branch. They did some very fine metal work in conjunction with quite deadly instruments with swords, but it has fine work on it.
Their art was wonderful. Okay. There's another one.
Yeah, well, that one's back for the... and here is an original design. This is a little 3D roller skate for our derby girls. I went and visited some of the roller derby girls, and I got them to show me their skates, and I took some pictures of it so I could make it more authentic for them. This is quite popular. I sell this one. Surprisingly, there's a lot of interest in roller derby in Australia, so a lot of those go to Australia.
Wow.
So with our Etsy site, we were able to ship around the world, as well as having our brick and mortar store in the Tower District. And so we've been very happy and been very pleased to be here and be a part of the Tower for so many years. We also live in the Tower, so
this is wonderful. And you have somebody that their whole approach to something is beautiful jewelry, beautiful. What is the other thing you said?
Well, all sorts of gifts. We have posters and we have cards, because you can't put the jewelry up on the walls. You can't have naked walls.
No.
We've also, my wife and I were approached by Make Magazine to write an online article on my methods of making jewelry. I do lost wax casting, in which that everything that I make originally starts out as a fine piece of wax that I've carved, and then is immersed in plaster. That is then melted out, metal is replaced, and then the metal must be polished up and finished. So there's quite an involved process involving a number of steps in it.
Oh my gosh, yes. That sounds intricate.
Yes, it is, and as I said, I was fortunate to be exposed to it in high school. Mr. Lum brought in a lot of his own equipment to give to students a chance to learn different techniques. And I found that I liked this technique and managed to procure some of my own equipment and in my parents' garage and did that. So it's
Oh, that's so wonderful. I think it's great when the teachers can inspire people enough so that they go out and their life becomes what they're studying.
Mr. Lum started. I was just talking. One of Lena Winther, who is one of the professors of photography at Fresno City College, was telling me that he had written a very nice letter of recommendation to her college that she wanted to go to when after she left his classes and stuff, and it enabled her to get into the college and start her on her journey as an artist. And
That
things.
is fabulous. I love to hear things like that. I like to keep the positive in front as long as I can because there's so much negative that you just want to
Oh yeah.
put back there and forget about.
And we've been so happy here in the Tower District. There's so many nice shops here that we all sort of work together. Freebird and BBOs and the Brass Unicorn, just wonderful things for to bring people down to the area. I know that the Tower is getting quite well known for its nightclub scene, but I don't want people to forget that the daytime that there are a number of very fine shops in here that have things that you just cannot find anyplace else.
That's right. It's so creative, and it's the spirit of Fresno,
Yes.
to have this kind of jewelry and beautiful art things.
Yes.
So I'm so glad you came in today.
Well,
and
thank you very
please
much for having
come in
me.
as often as you want to because
Okay.
I like people to get to know
Great. Well,
our guests.
okay. Well, thank you very, very much for
Okay,
having me.
thank you for coming in.
Okay. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.